What is going on, everybody? That looked like it was super loud. We hit the red. Let me adjust this if I'm going to be screaming into the mic. Welcome to KO Bets. My name is Bill. We're going live today on Wednesday because my sister's getting married this weekend. She's getting married on Friday. And I just miss too many shows because I wait till Friday and then I don't have time. So, yeah, we're going live tonight. Before I get started, please like the stream, subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support tremendously. And let's get into the UFC 304 breakdown. Let me pause the music. Get it ready again. Alright, so we're in England. It's Bilal Muhammad taking on Leon Edwards for the second time. We've got an interim matchup for the co-main event for heavyweight between Tom Aspinall and Curtis Blades. And then we got a bunch of other fights to break down. So let's start with Shauna Bannon taking on Alice Ardeline. I haven't seen Alice Ardeline fight before. Looking at her record, well, she's making her debut in the promotion, but looking at her record, was surprised to see what Weili Zhang, Diana Balbita, just some name recognition on the resume. Didn't beat anyone whose name I know, but, you know, she's got that. And she's taking on Bannon, who we've seen fight a couple of times in the UFC. You know, I think if Alice Ardeline isn't able to implement her grappling in this fight, I think Shauna Bannon kind of streams her way to a easy decision. But if Alice Ardeline is able to get top position and just smother Shauna Bannon, she could win both a decision, maybe a finish, but I think I'm going to go with whoever the underdog is here. So that's going to be Alice Ardeline. I don't like that. I'm going to go with Shauna Bannon. I think she should win this fight, but no bet for sure. I will post my bets on Saturday morning to my Twitter. Mick Parkin taking on Lucas Bresky. I gotta pull this up. Lucas Bresky. Something happened. Well, I think he used to fight at 185. Now he's a heavyweight. Taking on Mick Parkin. I mean, I think Mick Parkin should win this fight, but a lot of Mick Parkin's fights have just been close in the UFC thus far. Very competitive. I think Mick Parkin could grapple in this fight, and that would help him a lot on the scorecards. Could he knock out Lucas Bresky? Maybe, but he just tends to be a point striker from the outside is what I'm seeing from Mick Parkin. I don't really see any urgency to go out there and get a finish thus far in the promotion. He's 9-0, hasn't lost. I don't think he's going to lose to Lucas Bresky, but if it's a decision, I think it'll be a pretty close fight. and that's what I kind of think it's going to be, is the decision. Mick Parkins is minus 290 favorite. I don't really want to touch that. We'll have to wait for the props to come in on some of these. Sam Patterson taking on Kiefer Crosby. Sam Patterson, super tall for the division at 6'3", taking on Kiefer Crosby, who's got some power, but doesn't have a lot of cardio. Sam Patterson, we saw that one brutal knockout against, that might have been Naimov. No, that was Ashmos in round 1, but otherwise the guys looked really good. Is a terrific grappler, gets a lot of leverage with his frame, and I think he can submit Kiefer Crosby, avoid being cracked and wobbled and ultimately finished in the first round. But I think he could get a early submission. He got a first round submission, I think, in his last fight. Yeah, and I think so. I'm gonna go with Sam Patterson. Under 1.5 is kind of crazy, so that kind of tells you where the lines are gonna be on some of this. I'll look at the submission. If it's bad odds, I'm not gonna invest in it. Muhammad Makayev taking on Manel Kopp. I love this fight. And I would say for both of these guys, if they win, this is probably the best wins of their UFC careers. I mean, I know both of them have had great opponents, but Manel lost to Pantoja and Nicolau. And then has looked, absolutely outstanding. And then we know Makayev hasn't lost yet, but he's just stylistically, it seems like he's always going to be a guy who just looks for the grappling, right? Persistently. That's where his advantage is. I don't think he's that great on the feet as a fighter. I don't really think he competes with Manel Kopp there. And it just comes down to, like, is Makayev going to be successful with his takedowns? Is he going to be able to control Kopp? And I just have kind of serious questions about Makayev. Not that he could win this fight, but, if Manel Kopp is stuffing that takedown, what are you going to do? I mean, this guy went to a split decision in his debut against Pantoja. So, I'm gonna roll with Manel Kopp to get it done. I think he could probably finish Makayev. We saw that flying knee KO when he got O.D. Osborne tired, and if Makayev's getting tired, shooting for takedowns from far away, I think Manel could hurt him. So I'm gonna go with the dog pick in this fight. Just questions about Makayev after stemming pretty much from the Charles Jourdain fight for me. That's kind of where the question marks started in my mind. Oban Elliott taking on Preston Parsons. Oban Elliott, really fun fighter, entertaining fighter, but I don't know what he's going to do with Preston Parsons. He's just going to be on the gas pedal, pressuring him. Is Oban going to look good outside of the first round? I think Preston Parsons probably just melts Oban with his pace, maybe implements some grappling. I don't know if Oban's going to be able to grapple Preston. Yeah, and then Oban, I just don't know if he has the 15 minutes of cardio to go against a guy like Preston Parsons. So give me Parsons to get it done. I think Parsons probably melts them to a degree, so I could see a finish. We've seen, where's the fight? Oban. Yeah, his 2 losses were both knockouts. Yeah, give me Preston Parsons, maybe inside the distance, depending on where the line ends up. But I'm thinking we're going to get pretty good dog odds on that, considering he's the favorite and the odds makers think it's going to go over 2.5. Maybe like plus 250. Modestus Bukauskas taking on Bukauskas taking on Marcin Prachnio. And this fight should be pretty fun, entertaining. Both of these dudes have been involved in a lot of finishes in their fights. But Marcin Prachnio is going to throw a lot of kicks out there, have a lot of volume early in the fight. And then, depending on how much he's up on the scorecard, we could see Modestus have to look for that late finish. But I think it's going to be a pretty close fight, and I kind of like Modestus to maybe drop round 1 and just go out there and put the pressure on Prachnio and hurt him, get him out of there, and get the finish in the second or the third. So I'm going to go with Modestus in this fight, the favorite. I like the finish a little bit. We can check out Prachnio's. Where did I go there? Where is he? Am I looking at the wrong? Oh, all the way at the bottom. Yeah, 4 knockout losses. Maybe. Give me Modestus in this fight, for sure. Jake Hadley taking on Colin Logren. Jake Hadley's taking this fight on short notice, and I like Hadley's striking. I think he's super dynamic on the feet, but I think this is a tough opponent, and Colin, who's just going to probably wrestle him for 15 minutes. And we've seen Jake Hadley, I think in his last 2 fights, just kind of get stuck off of his back, not be able to get to his feet. But he's a really good fighter. Charles Johnson was getting taken down. Cody Durden was getting taken down. Alan Nascimento, I don't really remember that fight because I'm not a psychopath, but I'm sure there were takedowns in that fight. So I just think Colin Logren's a guy who I really like in this matchup. And it's kind of an interesting fight to take on short notice if you're Hadley. I guess you're right there. It's an opportunity. You could have a moment, but I like Colin to get it done. Probably a decision with many, many takedowns. The next fight of the night is Molly McCann taking on Bruna Brasil. Molly, this seems like a fight that's set up for her to just have a spectacular finish. Bruna Brasil, she's been knocked out several times in her career, and she's not that good. 3 times. And Molly's just, I don't know. I think she's gonna have a lot of success with her pressure, with her physicality, with her kind of reckless and violent nature. I could see that almost like freezing Bruna Brasil when she gets hit. So give me Molly McCann here. I like the knockout for Molly McCann. She's a heavy favorite. Plus 200 for the knockout. I like it. If it's a decision, we're in England. I still like Molly McCann. I don't think Bruna Brazil is going to finish Molly. I don't see it happening. So I like Molly McCann in this fight. Nathaniel Wood taking on Daniel Pineda. I'm a big fan of Nathaniel Wood. It's kind of weird. His last fight, he didn't look great, right? He lost. Naimov. Pretty sure he got grappled quite a bit in that fight. But he's a really good striker, really clean. Daniel Pineda, good grappler in his own right. Carries some power, but is always looking to finish fights. I think all of his wins have been inside the distance, and then just a small amount of losses have even made decisions with him. So I expect this fight to end inside the distance. I think Wood's boxing's really sharp. He's just got to stay safe early. I really like, just some sort of finish result in this fight. So, like, the unders, I kind of like that. It's just, if Pineda's going to win, it's going to be early. If Wood wins, I think Pineda melts. Wood can really start to put the volume on him, and he's got good accuracy. He's slick with the hands. So, I like Wood. Odds makers agree. I don't know about minus 425, liking him that much, but I like the late Wood KO. I guess if it's Pineda, I like an early knockout for Pineda. The next fight of the night is Arnold Allen taking on Giga Chikadze. And I've been big time back and forth on this one, because I like Arnold Allen, but he's low volume, and he's a little, to me, he just looks a little unpolished when he's in there with super good strikers, which I would consider Giga Chikadze that. Giga's older. He's coming off a decision win against Caceres. And I mean, the dude's only lost a couple times in the UFC. Calvin Kattar, he got beat up bad. I think Arnold Allen beat Calvin. Oh yeah, knee injury. And then Austin Springer on Contender Series, but then I guess his debut. But the dude's, he's a really good striker, and I think this fight's going to primarily play out on the feet, and I think it's going to be close for that reason. Arnold Allen's super durable. Giga, for the most part, we've seen he's super durable. So I think this goes to a decision, and I think for Arnold to win, he's going to have to wrestle. I think that's the way he wins this fight, because I think Giga's just going to be a little too crisp on the feet. I don't... Arnold's very loopy, carries, he's putting a lot into his punches, but, I don't know, there's just something about him going up against another really good striker. I don't know if we've seen him do amazing against a really good striker yet in the UFC. I mean, you could say, Dan Hooker. I mean, that's the shit I'm talking about, where he's just got his chin up in the air and he throws 4 hooks in a row and is able to catch Dan Hooker early in the fight. That's always fun, but I think Giga's got this. I I like Giga as kind of a decent dog, right, at plus 190. And I think the odds could swing even more in favor of Arnold Allen. He's just a popular fighter. Um, I would say a decision for Giga. And then if it's the Arnold Allen side, I guess I'd say a decision as well. Christian Leroy Duncan taking on Gregory Rodriguez. I love this fight. This is going to be a good one. Both of these dudes are knockout machines. Both of these dudes. Gregory, he can go for takedowns, but for the most part, he tests it on the feet as well. And it's just going to be a really fun fight, I think. And someone's going to get knocked out. I think that's going to be Gregory Rodriguez this time. Getting knocked out, and so I'm going with Christian Leroy Duncan. He's just a really sharp striker, and I think Gregory Rodriguez has some good tools on the feet. I like his jab. I like his toughness, his power as well, but I think Leroy Duncan's just going to be a little bit more dynamic and better than RoboCop on the feet. So give me Christian Leroy Duncan to knock out Gregory Rodriguez, and if Gregory wins, I think he catches Leroy Duncan, but he absorbs less punches, and I think he's going to have Gregory hurt probably a couple times in this fight. So give me Leroy Duncan at minus 142. I like the knockout. Odds makers agree for both sides. We've got Bobby King Green, legally changed his name to King Green, taking on Paddy Pimblett. And this is a fight where I haven't seen enough from Paddy Pimblett. I don't know. Like, the smart move for Paddy would be to just go out there and do what Islam did, right? Take him down and just submit him if you're better than him in the grappling department. But I don't think it's going to be that simple. I don't think Paddy is that. And I just don't know if... I just don't think Pimblett's going to look good in this fight. I think Bobby Green hurts him and tags him in the face a lot. And I think we could see, ultimately, Paddy getting knocked out in this fight. If it goes to a decision, okay. I guess Paddy could win that, but man, Green is so sharp with his hands. He's no question fought against the better competition. I'm not saying lately he has, but I mean, for sure he has, because Paddy just fought Ferguson. But yeah, I just don't see where Paddy has answers for Bobby Green if the wrestling doesn't work. So give me Bobby Green. I like the Bobby Green knockout personally. I just don't think Paddy should be in there with hands that sharp. I really don't. Tom Aspinall taking on Curtis Blades. This is another rebooking. Tom hurt his knee in their first fight, and I like both of these fighters a lot. But I think, like, Blades is... I've always said Blades is the best wrestler in the heavyweight division. But you see him against Jalton Almeida, and even Jalton's kind of taking him down. I know he gets up and he stays safe, but it wasn't like defending a takedown. It was elbows along the fence. So, like, and I know defensive wrestling's way different than offensive wrestling, but I just, like, if you're the best, like, you should definitely try to do that with Tom Aspinall, because we've seen Blades get knocked out before, and Aspinall, the way he moves on his feet, it's like I've seen Cyril Gahn move like that at heavyweight, but it's just the dude's powerful, he's accurate, and I think he probably knocks out Curtis Blades in this fight. I'd love to go to the bet on the Curtis Blades side, but I just don't see it really happening. Minus 375 favorite for Tom. Odds makers like the knockout as well. And yeah, there's no way in hell that's going the distance. Leon Edwards taking on Bilal Muhammad. This is a fight I was kind of back and forth on for a while, and I've ultimately settled on Leon Edwards. Last time we saw Bilal, he fought Gilbert Burns. Looked really good in that fight. That was May of 2023. And maybe Bilal, and I'm not, like, Bilal's got some tremendous tools. He's got, 5-round cardio. He's a tremendous grappler. He's got good punch output. But like Sean Brady, I don't really. That's a dude melting. I didn't really see a knockout or someone hurt in that fight. And I don't know where Bilal's gonna really threaten Leon Edwards from a just like I'm gonna hurt you. I think Leon's far sharper in the stand-up department. I don't think there's gonna be a big difference in output, because I think every time Bilal tries to throw a lot of output out there, I think he's gonna eat something in return. And then I think his best hope is to grapple, and we've seen him do it before, where you just grapple for 25 minutes, and honestly I think that's Bilal's best shot of winning this. And it's like, at that point, like, you gotta ask, like, is Bilal better than Colby? Yeah. Is he a better wrestler? Probably. Is he better than Usman? I don't know. Is he a better grappler than Usman? I don't know. And we just saw Leon fight grapplers in his last 3 fights, like elite division grapplers. And so is Bilal just another level above those dudes from a grappling perspective? Is he going to be able to take Leon down, hold him down for 25 minutes? I don't think so. I think Leon is able to stuff more takedowns than he's not. I think he's able to hurt Bilal. And I think he's able to, in 25 minutes, I'm kind of leaning towards the knockout for Leon. At plus 300, but it could just be like a really grueling decision between these two fighters. So I'm gonna say Leon knocks out Bilal. He punches him too many times in the face. I don't know if we've seen Bilal get knocked out. He's got one knockout loss. That was to Vincent Luque in 2016. Yeah, I don't know. I will post all my bets on my Twitter. You can follow that, down here where my mouse is. Around the Horn could be ending. Man, I can't believe Kamala got... I just... If you're gonna... There should have been a vote. I don't know. It just doesn't sit right with me. I don't think I would vote RFK over Trump, but to like censor your political opponents like Robert Kennedy from participating in the Democratic primary. So you rig the election, you collect 14 million votes for Joe Biden, and you just give them to someone else. It's like you should be upset with that process. That doesn't. It's not right. It's not. It's not how it works. You gotta collect votes. That's how it works. In America. Let's click on this. Oh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was like a bunch of Palestine protesters just like at the Capitol. So, what's going on? They got Hamas written up there? Fuck these people. What is... What is this? Why are we defacing things? Did anyone get arrested? Beating up cops? Burning the flag? I figured that's what they were doing. They raised a Palestinian flag. Whatever. Whatever. I mean, it's stupid. It's stupid. It really is. They had the FBI director on talking about the assassination attempt. Today they had him with Congress. I listened to some of it. It just, even in that setting, it just turned so, like, partisan. And there's, like, 50% of people are, like, asking good questions. And then 50% of people are, like, just, like, going off the rails. Talking about dumb shit. Like... One dude's talking about Project 2025 to the FBI director. Another guy, and I don't know his name, but he was stupid. Another guy, who I do know the name of, Matt Gaetz, what was he saying? Oh, he's asking about, like, the FBI director, how long he's known that, like, Biden is... mentally, you know, he's mush brain, you know, and it's like, what does that have to do with Saturday? Like, forget all check all that stuff at the door. Just ask about like the topic at hand. Some people try to turn it into like a platform for, to lobby for gun control laws. So they took it as an opportunity to talk against the Second Amendment. Some people... some people use the time to admonish the Cheeto lady who's like, quit, and like, yeah, you can still have her involved in, the investigative process, but, like, why are you wasting time on that? And just, there's still not like a lot of clear information. 1 shooter, 2 shooter. So there's just a lot going on. There's a lot going on with it. It's gonna... Yeah, I don't know. But fuck those idiots. Don't do that. Like, you live here. Right? I get you're upset about, what's going on in Gaza. But, bro, that's not doing anything. That's not doing anything at all. Well, I should say it doesn't garner respect. It doesn't provoke positivity. It doesn't provoke helpfulness. It just builds more animosity because it's intentional, it's deliberate, and that, like, stuff does whatever it does, right? Whatever the result is, that's what the purpose of doing it was. So if that's all you're looking to do, it seems pretty conceited, selfish, but mostly just stupid. Like, yeah, like really, really silly.